Hello, this is Mo, your amateur urban gardener from Houston, Texas, USA. I haven't made a video for a couple of years. This one is on figs, and more figs. What you're looking at right now is the back corner of the garden, and it's quite a large fig tree. It's actually 2 fig trees planted together, and they're Celeste figs. They're native to Texas, small brown figs, quite delicious. And to the right here, there's 2 small fig trees, a banana fig tree and an Lsu fig tree, which I'll say something about that later. And you can see there's grapevines along the fence, let's see, like there, and we got citrus plants and lots of blueberry plants growing. Recently, I've been into checking out fruit trees, fruit plants, and seeing how they grow. So I give you a little, on another video, I'll give you a brief video of my thoughts about that. So this is figs, okay? So now that's the fig tree, and we're going to go into the inside where I have stuff set up to talk about figs. So excuse me while we go inside. And my decision is I'm going to, ooh, this doesn't, there we go, focus, let's focus. Okay, here we go. Here's the figs. Alrighty, so fig tree every 2 days or so. Every 2 days or so, this sink is filled up with figs. I was using a plastic bag, but now what I'm using is this bag sewed in half with a bowl inside to keep the figs from getting smushed. So that's what I'm using to pick the figs, and I bungee cord that to the ladder, or I carry it on my arm while I'm picking the figs. The ladder you saw under the fig tree, I'm just leaving it there until the figs are done fruiting. When I bring them in, I put them in the sink, I give them a quick wash off just with the spray hose, and then I sort them out. Okay, so we have, over here we have these are the very ripe figs, the most ripe. These are in the middle ripe. These ones I clean up, plate up, cut all the stems off, give them away to the neighbors, plate them up, or put them in containers like these, reused containers, or sometimes plastic bags. And the really super sweet ones are here, and I cut them into quarters. I just started doing this. I got a recipe on the internet a few days ago because, well, I'll tell you why. I had so many figs that I couldn't give them away fast enough. So, and these are the figs that are not quite as ripe, so they'll ripen over the next day or 2. So anyway, I had so many figs. We were giving them away as fast as we could, and the ones that were more ripe, I was putting in plastic bags and putting in the freezer. At first, I was just keeping them kind of loose like this and putting them in the freezer, but then thought about, oh my God, that's taking up so much space. Next, I started smushing them in the bag. It's like a brick, and that's figs. And then I went from that size bag to this nice little square bag, which is, you know, they're squash, but they fit real nicely in. I can put more of them in the freezer, but now I'm getting too much fruit in the freezer. These are grapes that we grew that are in the freezer, blueberries, strawberries, so we've tried a lot of different kinds of fruit trees and fruit plants this year. So the freezer's full of fruit, so I was thinking, what am I going to do? So I went online and I found some recipes for fig jam. And that's what I'm doing with the most ripe ones. So you can see them here cut in quarters, and you can find yourself a recipe. There's lots of different recipes online. The one that I used the other day, I made just a couple of jars of fig jam right there, and it's quite delicious. It called for a certain amount of sugar, and I always cut the sugar in half. I didn't use sugar. I used coconut palm sugar and honey. And, I mean, excuse me, not honey, agave. But I used half the amount that they said to use, and it still tastes a little sweet to me. So this next time, I'm going to put like a quarter of what they said to put sweetener, or maybe none at all. I'm not sure. But at any rate, so that's that. And these are the Texas Celeste figs. They're very sweet. They're small. They have a nice texture to them, you know, somewhat firm, not too squishy. And right over here I have some, these are Lsu figs, and you can see they're bigger, they're more purple, And my husband and I, we decided we just really don't like how they taste. They're not that sweet, and the inside is a little more mushy. So before you go putting a lot of effort and energy into, you know, buying and planting and taking care of a fig tree, I suggest you, you know, find somebody who has some fig trees and taste test the different kinds of figs to see what you really like. And and I'm going to zoom in here so you can see the ladder in the middle. See the ladder? I just leave it right there in the center of the tree so that I can pick the fruit from the inside of the tree. Anyway, yeah, I would taste test before you put a lot of energy into growing something. So that little Lsu fig right there next to it, we're going to be pulling that up, putting it in a pot, and giving it away to somebody. So that's it about figs. So signing off, your amateur urban gardener from Houston, Texas, USA. Happy gardening.